As you look at the league now, is there some a goalie or a couple goalies that maybe stand out in your mind? You're just kind of like, because I look at we watch a lot of Islanders in this house, and we love the two Russian goalies they have, Sorokin and Vladdy. Anybody else that comes to mind for you now?
In terms of like can take a game over and just be a stud? Yeah, I mean, they're riding Carey Price like he's tough, but at any given night, that guy can be the best goalie in the world. Right now, where are we looking? Out west? You look out west, you see, I don't know who's Marc-Andre Fleury. You got Robin Lehner. Those two guys is just showing you experience, right? Experience counts.
Yeah.
Really like the guys down in the desert. People don't understand how hard it is to play in those climates.
Interesting.
Even as a goalie, like I remember playing in Phoenix and in Florida, your pads wouldn't slide on the ice after 10 minutes.
Oh.
Because the humidity and it's just so sticky, right?
Never thought of that.
Yeah. And then they're getting hurt. They're pulling their goalies left and right because you go to make a push and the ice just explodes underneath you, right?
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So it will be a very interesting and hopefully we can get through the season. I thought the NHL did a really good job with the playoffs in the bubble last year, getting through that and giving us something to watch. And in a very difficult time for anybody who's a hockey fan, it was a great outlet to have. And obviously now this season we have, you're dealing with some issues. Now the Bruins are dealing with it. And then, we've had some other teams. So, but hopefully we can get through it and have a good, remainder of this season, playoffs and Stanley Cup playoffs, because like I think we both agree, there's nothing more exciting to watch than that. So, did you have a favorite team growing up?
Did I have a favorite team growing up?
Blackhawks? Because you were in Chicago, right?
That's a good guess, but let me tell you why. I mean, I grew up here, a Hispanic kid, right?
Yep.
You look up, there's no Hispanics, right? Okay. There's no one that resembles you. So for me, I became a fan of the NHL at like 19, 18 years old once I knew my friends and players and once I got that.
Yep.
And the thing that also was tough for me growing up in Chicago was that they didn't put the games on TV, right? So as a kid, you wouldn't grow up seeing hockey. You knew about it, you would hear about it, but it wasn't right. So it wasn't until later on that I became a fan of hockey, and that's when I got to see my friends play, and then I started watching it.
Okay, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So you really came to the game kind of late because. That's usually kids are, and 4 or 5 years old, they're out on the ice and very interesting. Al, tell me about your family. Where do you live now? And you said you had 2 kids, you're homeschooling? Yeah.
I grew up here in Chicago. I'm back here in Chicago now. I have 3 kids.
3.
Camila's 8 years old, Henry's 6, and Nicholas is 2. It's been an absolute joy. Obviously before the pandemic happened and I retired, the goal was to, take some time, travel, see the world. I was able to make 1 trip. I got to go back to Cuba. Nice. First one in the family back since 1963. If I could say it was spiritual and enlightening and emotional, it was all the above, but beautiful. And then now here with the family, I met my wife, Annie, at University of Michigan. We've been married 13 years. So she's been along on this journey just as long as I have. And I'm really looking forward to this next part of my life, our lives.
Yeah. Excellent. So you're Michigan Wolverines. And you said you're back in school now?
Yes.
Okay. What are you working on?
I'm finishing up my undergrad.
Right. I understand. But what will your degree be in?
Right now it's psychology.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Seeing if I can lean towards business, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. But if not, my first class starting off is American immigration.
Nice.
And it really highlights a lot what I'm doing.
How long do you have to go to finish? Do you know?
I have 20 credits left.
20. Okay.
So a little under a full year.
Yeah. Okay. You'll knock that out. And I give you tremendous credit for doing that. I mean, that's going back and finishing. And if and when you're ready for a master's degree in sport business management, you come talk to me. Okay?
I love it. I was talking to my mom yesterday. She's like, Al, if you don't, I mean, I just thought about if you would have left after sophomore year when they drafted you, the chances to finish would have been, you would have done it, but it would have been, you would have killed yourself.
Right. Yeah. It's, listen, it's, education is still, I'm a big believer in the trades and people who are, because if my pipe breaks, I can't do it. I need a plumber, I need an electrician. But at the end of the day, we're all learning every day, and learning more about different cultures and different people. And that's the way it should be. Right. So
that's how you grow.
Yeah, it's how you grow, and what do you see as the biggest obstacle for for the Latin American? Let's stay with the Latin Americans for now, in terms of getting them interested in the game.
What's our biggest obstacle? Let's call it what it is. Our game is 94% white. Right. So. And we know that the face of America is changing, right? We know, just from what I've been doing, like 1 in 2 being born in LA is Hispanic, 1 in 2 being born in New York is Hispanic, half the population in Dallas is Hispanic.
Yep.
So it's changing. It's how are you going to embrace this demographic that's already here, already ingrained, and maybe into other things? So how do you bring them in? And it's got to be slow and it's got to be consistent. And that's what I'm here to do. Create this authentic buzz, right? To go back, I think about the times that I'm networking and talking to executives and people around the league, and you come across some people and they say to you, well, Al, what are you going to do other than walk the halls? And then I kind of get sad. I think to myself, like, well, I totally missed the mark with this person. But then I have another conversation with another individual who will say, well, Al, are you ready for this? And I think to myself, what do you mean? I say, what do you mean? And they go, are you ready to wear all the hats that you're going to need to wear? And that excites me because there are people that understand it. And the difference, and it has to be made today, right? It's a slow process and it's got to be consistent. And you have to go to these communities with an authentic voice. You have to create this trust, right? So that if that hat consists of today, go and play ball hockey with the Latino community, tomorrow I'm broadcasting, the next day I'm sitting down with a partner that wants to see if they want to bring their brand to hockey, and then whatever they bring with them. Yeah. So there's a lot that can be done, but it has to be authentic. Yes. And kids have to look up and see people that look like them and have the names like them and speak like them and come from the culture for them to want to come, right?
Right. I think that's probably true in anything, because people, even kids, can sense fakeness, right? People who are, just doing something, whether they're doing it for money or for any other motive.
Hola, soy Álvaro Montoya, el primero cubano americano sobre hielo para jugar en el NHL, y quiero decir a los latinos sobre el mundo que este deporte es para ustedes, y con tiempo van a ver las cosas que yo vi jugando este deporte.
Okay. I'm going to trust you on that. But at the end of the day, I think you said something earlier, which I totally agree with, is you said something about your passion.
Yeah.
Right? And pursuing your passion. Yeah. And that, I think, is very important. Whether it's me or you or a young person, pursue your passion, try to pursue those goals, achieve those goals, because at the end of the day, you don't achieve anything by sitting around hoping that it happens. Right. So just like you spent many hours practicing in the rinks, with nobody around, got it to the highest level, and now are pivoting, and you're going to do the same thing in your business career with your family. So, Al, I truly thank you for your time.